Today on First Issue Ever, we are talking about Transformers Generation 2, number 1. So get ready to transform and roll out.
First Issue Ever!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of First Issue Ever, the only show that cares about the only number that matters in the world of comics and possibly the real world, and that is the number 1. My name is Steve, and I am the prime to your rest of the Transformers. Well, looks like I just gave away the big reveal of what we're going to be covering today. But of course, you could have just read the title card at the beginning of this video to figure that out. You're a smart guy, I'm sure you will. Or girl. You're a smart person. I know. I can see through the computer. I can see what you're wearing, you sick, sick little boy or girl. Nostalgia, franchises, what does it all mean? It all equals to marketing and corporations and investors not wanting to take a chance these days. And that's why we keep seeing the same stuff recycled and remade and rebooted over and over again. Sure, I had Transformers when I was younger. I watched the cartoon. It was great. But if you go back and watch it, it's not so great. Somewhere along the lines, though, Hollywood said, hey, why don't we take that stuff that people used to watch and love when they were younger and turn it into a horrible movie directed by Michael Bay? They did that, and Transformers were never the same. I mean, I still like it, but I just look at it and I think about those movies and how terrible they are. Thankfully, we still have the original toys, we still have the original cartoon, and we've got comics that Michael Bay never urinated on. At least he hasn't urinated on my copy. And we're gonna look at one of them today, and here it is. Transformers Generation 2, number 1, published by Marvel Comics in November of 1993. Cover price is $2.95. It's 64 pages plus ads, and boy, are there a lot of ads. And it's written by Simon Furman and art by Derek Yaniger. Just look at this cover. This is a classic 90s crazy cover. Look at Optimus Prime. He just looks badass, and he's shiny. And look at this. If this isn't cool enough for you, I mean, it's Optimus Prime looking at you like he's gonna kill you. You can open it up. There's a whole bunch of craziness going on in there. I kind of missed the gimmick covers, but you know, you just gotta make sure what's inside is good to go with your awesome cover. Otherwise, it's just a ripoff and a gimmick to get you to buy the book. The writing. Remember, kids, it's the writing and the art that matter, not the gimmick cover. This book picks up right where the original run of the Transformers from Marvel Comics left off. Optimus Prime, a few other Autobots, they meet up. They're basically getting the band back together to try to decide what they want to do next. The art and the cover are definitely a plus for this. The book is awesome. I mean, it's lots of action. Reading this book makes me want to read the rest of this run for sure. This run only lasted 12 issues, and I remember they also crossed over into the G.I. Joe comic. How Megatron got turned into a tank was, at least, and this is Marvel continuity here, he crash landed onto Earth, and Cobra Commander and the rest of Cobra helped repair him, which makes a lot more sense than him shrinking down to a gun that a human can hold. There's the ever important question as to why I picked this up. And again, this is another one of those books that I found at the LA Sci-Fi and Comic Book Convention. Hopefully you watched that video. For $1. That's right, I paid $1 for this book, which would have been $2.95 back in the day. I remember when this book hit the shelves, and it was at that point where you're like, ooh, Transformers are lame, man. I've moved on to Ninja Turtles, which were pretty hot at the time, if I remember correctly. But then, of course, you know, it all comes around and you miss the Transformers or the G.I. Joe or, you know, the stuff of your childhood, and that's when they get you with the nostalgia. I tell you, the great thing about buying old comics is opening it up and seeing the old ads. And you don't get that if you buy a trade paperback. And you don't get that if you buy the DVD because they've taken all the commercials out. Here's a cool one for Sonic. I know it doesn't really make a good story, but I mean, come on. How can you not like opening up a book and seeing an ad for Game Genie? Here's a cool ad for Nickelodeon, basically. Bram Stoker's Dracula, the game for, which one is this? Oh yeah, Genesis and Super Nintendo. I would definitely like to read this whole run because it was really awesome. Lots of action, I guess kind of gritty, you know, very 90s. The way that DC thinks their books should be now, but really shouldn't. Just be on the lookout for Transformers Generation 2, number 1 through 12. And if you see them, pick them up because they're pretty good. So that's gonna be a wrap for the all nostalgia, all Transformers episode of First Issue Ever. My name is Steve. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we will see you next week. Transform and roll out.